Om Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasya Vastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ana Shrunvannutibhis Siddhasadanam Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namah Om Vrishabham Charshaninam Vishwarupamadabhyam Vrihaspatim Varenyam Om Tadvishno Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayah Vivivachakshuratatam Om Triyambakam Jajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat Om Shlim Dhlim Jyotirbrahmaya Namah. Can everyone say Hare Ramakrishna 3 times? Om Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna. Happy Mahashivaratri. Okay, so we are in chapter 21, chapter 24 in Santanam's version of Brihatparasar Hora Sastram. We are in verse 85, the 8th Lord in the first house, verse 85. Ashtameshe tanojatah tanu sokhya vivajyatah devanam brahmananam cha nindako vrana samyutah. Ashtameshe tanojatah. If the 8th Lord is in the first house, a person born like that, tanu sokhya vivarjitah, he has no happiness or pleasure of, no comfort of body, no physical comforts, no bodily comforts. Devanam brahmananam cha nindakaha. Devanam brahmananam cha. Nindakaha means one who blames, one who is hostile. So he is hostile towards gods and brahmanas. Meaning basically, here Brahmana doesn't mean somebody who is born in the Brahmana caste, but who is a Brahmana by his behavior, by his attitude, by his conduct, by his thinking. So basically somebody who follows Brahman. So that is the meaning of Brahmana here. So bottom line is, whether you insult gods or insult somebody who is pursuing Brahman, you are basically insulting religion. So basically somebody irreligious. That is what it means. Disrespectful to tradition, religion, etc. He is the opposite of godly basically. And vrana samyutaha means, vrana means either wounds or long term things like cancer. So basically he has some problems, he has some diseases, some big wounds or cancer or things like that he has. Chronic illnesses he has. Okay, most of it is actually straightforward. Let's parse it. Okay, now Lagna has 8th Lord, right? So why doesn't he have physical comfort? Well, Lagna represents the physical body of the person, and the 8th Lord, the Lord of the house of destruction from it, is in the house. So he's not really blessing the house. It's like an enemy coming to your house. So somebody who wants to destroy you, he has control over you. So not good. So first one is straightforward. And similarly, vrana samyutaha, diseases. 8th house is the house of chronic diseases or diseases that are difficult to cure, etc. So if the 8th Lord is afflicting Lagna, his body may have some chronic diseases, or it may have some serious wounds or cancer, things like that. So that also makes sense. The only thing that is left over is Devanam Brahmanam cha nindakaha. Why is he hostile to religious people, religion and religious people and gods? Why is he ungodly? No, 9th house is the house of Dharma. You are thinking correctly. 9th house is the house of Dharma. So this planet is in the 5th house from 9th house. So he has an Argala on the 9th house, and he is in the house of Purvapunya as far as religion is concerned. But he is the Lord of 12th house from the 9th house. So 9th house is the house of Dharma and religion. he is the lord of loss of it, giving it up. So being the lord of the house of, so in general 8th house is considered the house of irreligion, 9th house is the house of religion and dharma, 8th house is the house of, is basically of some compromise in it. But it can also be making some compromises. See, dharma is different, moksha is different. 8th house is one of the moksha trikonas, and similarly from the 9th house of dharma, this planet is the 12th lord of moksha. It's not really that bad, and he is in a trine. It can represent occult, that is what I am saying. So it can represent, the planet can give some occult insights, but along with them, it can also indicate dropping off some trappings of religion. So this can be, there is positive aspect to it also, but in general 8th house can be the house of religion. It can also be the house of advanced religion, where you understand what religion is, because at the end of it, religion is an attempt to understand God. So more than dharma, moksha is important in a way, but unless you do your dharma to some extent, moksha, you are nowhere close to moksha. So dharma is important in the beginning, but the end goal is not dharma. The end goal is moksha, liberation, freedom from everything. So from that point of view, even though there is a positive aspect of this, which is basically understanding the essence of dharma and making the right compromises, because no rule is basically unbreakable. Every rule has a purpose in a particular context, in a particular, at a particular time, in a particular place, in a particular situation. Every rule has some sense. But once you actually don't understand the thinking behind the rule, you just stick to the rule, the letter of the rule, rather than the spirit of the rule, it will lead to something bad in the long run. It can lead to something bad in the long run. So dharma, that way religion is a very shaky thing. Religions come and go. But so what I am trying to say is, this can have a positive, if the 8th lord is in the lagna, there is a positive result also possible, but one angle is, being the 12th lord, he shows giving up dharma, so he is not really a dharmic person. So that is also a possibility. So that planet being in lagna, that is his nature. His nature is breaking up dharma. The next verse is, Ashtameshe dhane bahu balahina prajayate dhanam tasya bhavet swalpam nashta vittam nalabhyate. Okay. Ashtameshe dhane, if the 8th lord is in the 2nd house of money, bahubala hina prajayate, he is somebody, he doesn't have bahubala, literally means the strength of shoulders. He doesn't have the strength of shoulders. Literally means he is not strong, he is weak. Dhanam tasya bhavet swalpam, he will have very little money, he will not have a lot of money. Nashta vittam nalabhyate, nashta vittam means lost wealth, nalabhyate, he does not get back. So if he loses some money, he won't get it back. In other words, some people can lose money and then get it back. There can be cycles of up and down. But here he is saying he will lose money but not really get it back. So this is an unfortunate combination. Now why? From the 2nd house of money, where is this planet? I mean, he is in lagna, but he is the, no. He is 8th lord is in the 2nd house. So from the 2nd house, the 7th lord is in lagna. So he is in lagna basically. From as far as money is concerned, the planet is in lagna. So he has a great impact on the money of the person. But what kind of impact? He is the 7th lord. And what does 7th house show? It shows desire. It also shows death. 7th house is a markasthana. Especially for 2nd house, I said several times, upasayas are important for accumulating money. Money is something that you accumulate. So the 3rd lord, 6th lord, 10th lord, 11th lord, those are important, upasaya lords. This is the 7th lord of maraka. So he basically is not conducive to accumulating lot of money. He is conducive to killing the money, destroying the money of the person, destroying the wealth of the person, ending the wealth of the person. So he is a maraka, but of course he can give some desire. Being the 7th lord of desire, he can give, I want money. That kind of desire this planet can give. But he is not really helping him accumulate lot of wealth. He is actually letting him lose the wealth. Now, so that is why he has little money. He may start out with a lot of money, but as far as accumulating more and more money, accumulating wealth is concerned, this planet is not conducive. Unless there are other combinations, this planet is not conducive to accumulation of wealth. Now why is he bahubalahinaha? Why is he weak? Why is he not strong? Okay. Of course, he has Argala and Lagna as well. The planet has Argala and Lagna. So 8th Lord has Argala and Lagna. So it doesn't show a lot of health, good health, etc. But how do you see the strength of the person? The strength of the person, what house shows it?
Before that, I just have, if you take second house as starting, Lagna.
Yeah.
And Lagna Lord, 8th Lord is in Lagna again.
Not 8th Lord, 7th Lord is in Lagna.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7th
Right.
Lord in Lagna. That's
Right.
what we talked about it.
Right. Right.
Then,
Okay, that's fine. No problem, no problem. So, how do you see the strength of the person? Yeah, third house shows the strength and vitality of the person. So, from the third house, this is? Yes. Yes, he is the 6th Lord in 12th, right? So, again, with respect to the third house, this is an Upchaya Lord. Just like in the case of wealth, when it comes to boldness, strength, vitality, etc., is something that you accumulate. So the Upchayas from the third house are important to see the vitality and the initiative of the person, the boldness of the person. And he is a Lord of an Upchaya, but he is in the 12th house of loss. He is the 12th house of giving up. In general, irrespective of the ownership, planets who are in the second house are not conducive to lot of initiative and lot of vitality, because third house is the house of vitality and second house is the house of loss of it. That is why it is considered a Marakasthana. Third and eighth are the houses of life, and the 12th house from both of them, the second and seventh, they are the Marakasthanas, because it is the house of loss of vitality. When it comes to vitality and initiative, loss is something that should not, that is very detrimental. So the 12th house from third house is very detrimental to the third house. So from that point of view, he is not somebody who has lot of strength, lot of vitality and lot of initiative. As a matter of fact, being the 8th Lord in the second house, he is a Maraka. Being the 8th Lord in the 12th from third house, he is a Maraka. So actually this planet's Dasha can also be not just, the result given here is Bahubal Hena, he is not very strong. Actually he can die also during that time. So this is physically, this is a bad Dasha. This planet is bad and this Dasha is bad. Randheshe sahaje bhave bhratr saukhyam na jayate salasyo bhrityahinascha jayate balavarjitah. If the Randheshe sahaje bhave, if the 8th Lord is in the third house, bhratr saukhyam na jayate, he has no happiness from brothers and sisters. Salasyo means sa alasyo. So he is endowed with alasata, which means laziness. He is lazy. Alasyo bhrityahinascha means, bhritya means servant. Bhrityahinaha means he has no servants. So he has no happiness from brothers, he is lazy, and he is without any servants, and finally balavajyataha, he is weak, he is not strong. Okay, why? Basically 8th house is a bad house, it's a dusthana. So with respect to Lagna, whichever house this goes to, that house is weakened. So one result is balavajyataha. Third house is the house of vitality, strength, initiative, etc. So because the 8th Lord is in that house, there is a problem in that house. So he is not really very strong. The vitality is a little weak, and initiative and drive to do things is weak. And brothers, the happiness from brothers is also weak. So bhratasokhyam balavajyataha, we know. Why is he lazy? Salasyo and also bhrityahinaha. Again, laziness or initiative are basically opposites. If you have the right initiative, you do things, you are a doer. If you don't have initiative, you are lazy. So again, laziness is also simply from third house indication. Third house indications are suffering because 8th lord is in that house. That is the bottom line. But why the last result left out is Bhruchahina. Why doesn't he have servants? Yeah. Fifth house is followers. People who take your orders and who do things are 6th house. Servants are from the 6th house. So from the 6th house, how are things? Third lord in 10th, what does it show? Does it mean he won't have any servants? Or should we take what Parasara said with a pinch of salt? Is there a slight modification?
He himself serves.
He himself serves. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? I mean, what do you say about the, let's say he said no servants, but suppose he has servants. What kind of servants will they be? Taking the 6th house of servant as Lagna, third lord is in the 10th house. What would that show? Third lord shows initiative and drive of the servant. 10th house shows karma. So if the third lord is in the 10th house, what can you say from it? Will the person show a lot of initiative in what they do in their karma? The third lord who shows initiative of the person is in the 10th house of karma, so they have a mind, they have a very active, proactive state of mind, and which they actively use in their karma. So they basically, it's like they're kind of independent. They have a mind of their own. So the servants that the person enjoys, they have a mind of their own. They take initiative in what they do. They decide what to do. They have a strong drive. So they are a little aggressive from that point of view in what they do. So they are not really good at taking orders. So bottom line is, it is not necessary that he doesn't have any servants, but the servants he has are not really like servants. So it's as good as not, they won't listen to him. They will have a mind of their own. So it's as good as he doesn't have any servants. So from that point of view, the Bhruchahina should be interpreted. The next verse, verse 88 is, Randhre se sukha bhavasthe matrahino bhavechuchuhu graha bhumi sukhairhino mitradrohina samsayah. Randhre se sukha bhavasthe. If the lord of the 8th house is in the 4th house, matrahino means he has no mother. Bhavet shishuhu. Bhavet shishuhu. The shishu means child. The child will become without mother. Gruha bhumi sukhairhino. Gruha means house. Bhumi means lands. Sukhaihi means happiness. So he has no happiness. He has no house. He is not very happy with respect to house. Not happy with respect to real estate and properties, landed properties, and also in general happiness. He doesn't have it. Mitradrohi nasamsayaha. Mitradrohi means he cheats his friends. He basically he dishonest with his friends, or droha literally means betrayal. He is somebody who will betray his friends, who let his friends down. Nasamseha, there is no doubt about it. Okay, so matrahino, why doesn't he have mother? Well, again, you can see this will be the theme, irrespective of which house you are talking about. 8th lord situation in that house basically ruins that house. That is the theme, unless he decides to change the track with some house and tries to give the other possibility, because there are other possibilities. Now from the 4th house as Lagna, the 5th lord is in Lagna. So you can say some positive things about mother. The 5th lord of Purvapunya is in Lagna for mother. See, 5th lord in Lagna is a good combination. That is happening for mother here. So you can say some positive things about mother also. But you can also take, instead of taking things from the 4th house, you can take from Lagna and say, well, he is not happy with respect to mother. He doesn't even have.
It denies the mother, right?
It denies happiness from mother. Mother may be a very successful person, very lucky person, but he may not be happy with mother. His relation may be bad. Similarly, now landed properties are from 4th house, the residence is from 4th house, and in general comforts and happiness are from 4th house. So all those three are suffering. Mitradrohi, the only thing left out is Mitradrohi. Why is he Why is he inimical to his own friends and doing bad things to his friends?
From 11th is
Yes. See, being the 8th lord from Lagna, he shows some sins of the person. 8th house is one of the houses of sins. Simply because 9th house is dharma, 8th house is loss of dharma. So it's sadharmic activities. And also some sins. So 8th house shows some sins of the person. Of course, 6th house also shows the weaknesses of the person. But 8th house is the house of sins. So, and from the 11th house of friends, this planet who shows the sins of the person is in the 6th house. So this planet shows some obstacles to be overcome by the friends, some problems for the friends, some obstacles, problems and enemies of the friends. So he can create some problems, obstacles to his friends and in an adharmic way. So basically he is a mitradrohi. He is not really good to his friends. The next verse is Randhe se suta bhavasthe jada buddhi prajayate swalpa prajno bhave jatah dirghayuscha dhananvitah. Randhe se suta bhavasthe. If the 8th lord is in the 5th house, jada buddhi prajayate. He is, buddhi means intelligence, jada means unmoving, stationary, manda buddhi basically. He is very dull intelligence. He is not real, he is dumb. Approximate translation is dumb. He is a little dumb. He is not really smart. He doesn't have a quick mind. He has a very dull, slow mind, slow intelligence. Swalpa prajnaha means very limited intelligence. Bhaved jataha, very limited intelligence, very little discretion. So he is basically not a smart guy. He is a dumb person. Bhaved jataha, so will be a person born. Dirghayuscha dhananvitaha. Dirghayuhu means long lived. He has long life. Dhananvitaha. He is endowed with money. He is wealthy. Okay. Now, 5th house is the house of intelligence. So 8th lord who shows troubles to the person, ups and downs to the person, that ruiner, Maraka, being in the 5th house, destroys the 5th house signification. So he is not very intelligent, he is dumb, he is not a good scholar, and so on. So jada buddhi and swalpa prajna make sense. Now the two things left over are dirghayu and dhananvita. Why is he long lived? Well, the 8th lord also shows longevity. Even though he shows troubles in life, he also shows longevity, and he is in the 5th house, a trine. So if the 8th lord is in a trine, if the lord of the house of longevity is in the house of Purvapunya, there is some Purvapunya that is coming to the life of the person, long life of the person. So he is long lived. So longevity is good. Then, pardon me? Yeah? Okay, so he is aspecting 11th house, so he can give some unexpected gains. Right? 8th lord can give unexpected developments. Aspecting the 11th house, he is in the house of Purvapunya, and he is aspecting the 11th house of gains. So he can give some unexpected gains. But why is he wealthy? Will he?
5th house is Lagna.
Yeah.
4th lord is Lagna.
Yeah. Right. Right. So.
That gives you 4th house is comforts and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah. That is good. So basically, taking Purvapunya as Lagna, the lord of the house of comforts is in Lagna. So he has some Purvapunya relating to comforts. But why is he wealthy? Why does he have a lot of wealth? 2nd house is the house of wealth. Is the planet really strong with respect to the 2nd house? Yeah. Doesn't really, he has Argada. The only thing he has is Argada. But he is 7th lord from 2nd house, not really a strong planet, but he has Argala, so he can give some wealth, but it's not really that strong. So more than somebody who accumulates a lot of wealth, what we really think will happen is somebody who can suddenly get money, suddenly get a lot of profits, somebody who is lucky from that angle. Similarly, another thing is 8th house is the house of speculation, 5th house is the house of Purvapunya. This is a decent combination for the possibility of getting lottery or getting some money unexpectedly. Another thing is, if you look at the A8, the Arudha of this house, where is it? A8, where will it be? 8th lord is in the 10th from 8th. So if you take the 10th there from, it will be second house. But it can't be in the first or 7th from the house. So you have to take 10th there from. So it is in the 11th house, right? A8, the Arudha of the 8th house. 8th house is sudden developments. Of course, it is also death, but it is also sudden developments. So A8 can show either death or sudden changes in life. And that Arudha is in the 11th house. So there will be some sudden gains in the life of the person. So there is a good chance that he will unexpectedly get some gains. So when he says Dhananvitaha, he is actually referring to that angle, not necessarily somebody who always had a big bank account and maintains a big bank account, but suddenly somebody who will suddenly get a lot of money. The next verse is Randhre se ripubhavasthe satru jayata bhave janah roga yukta sharirascha balye sarpajalad bhayam. Randhre se ripubhavasthe, if the 8th lord is in the 6th house of enemies, Shatru Jayata Bhave Janaha means, for me? Yes, Shatru means enemy, Jayata means victor. So he is a victor over enemies. Bhave Janaha. So will be such a person. Roga Yukta Sharirascha means his body has a lot of diseases. Balye Sarpa Jalad Bhayam. In childhood there is a problem from Sarpa Jala, from snakes and water. Okay, let us parse it. If the 8th lord is in the 6th house, he wins over his enemies. Does it make sense? 6th house is the house of enemies. So just like everybody, all other houses suffered, the 6th house of enemies also suffers. So his enemies suffer. So he is a victor over enemies. Moreover, this is a Viparita Rajoga. So and the planet being in the 6th house, he gives some enemies. He will give some enemies, but he will win over the enemies. There will be some tension and some fighting, but he will win at the end because this is a Viparita Rajoga. Roga Yukta Sharirascha. But however, I mentioned several times in the past that Viparita Rajoga doesn't apply in the matter of health. If the 6th lord is in 8th or 8th lord is in 6th, you can't say, oh, there is Viparita Rajoga. In the case of health, physical body, if there is a Viparita, there is no Rajoga. Basically, of course, it means you won't die. I mean, it won't be disastrous. You will be fighting. But you will be fighting. That's the bottom line. So when it comes to health, never look at Viparita Rajoga. If 6th lord is in 8th or 8th lord is in 6th, if one of the lords of that bad house associates with another bad house, it is not a positive combination. So he has lot of diseases. He doesn't have a healthy life. Now, Sarpa Jalad Bhayam. There is problem from snakes and water. Why is there a problem from snakes and water? Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Okay, go ahead. No problem. Go ahead. Keep going. Yeah.
In the 6th part and the second half of the second portion of that
One second. It is, if you are looking at it from that angle, the Dharma Trikonas are associated with fire, right? Dharma Trikonas are associated with fire. Just like in the natural zodiac, Aries, the first house Aries is basically Agni, and of course Leo, all those. So 1, 5 and 9 are Agni. So similarly, Dharma Trikonas are associated with fire because Dharma has the nature of fire. And second house, 2nd, 6th and 10th, the Artha Trikona, they are associated with the work that you get done. It is basically, why Jala? It is Bhu, solid. The work that you get accomplished is basically like Bhu. It is solid. I have finished this. Now this recording has been made. Of course, it is made on air or whatever, but the bottom line is the work is there. It is there in a solid form that people can take and they can use it. So the work that you accomplished is accomplishments are of Bhutatva, right? And similarly in the natural zodiac, in the Naisargika chakra, the second house Taurus is Bhurasi. Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn are Bhurasis. And the third house in the natural zodiac is Gemini. Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, they are airy rasis. Airy rasis. So desire, I want to do this, is basically like air. Desire is like air. And finally Moksha, the fourth house of the natural zodiac is Cancer. It is watery. Similarly Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, these three are watery signs. Similarly 4th, 8th and 12th houses of the horoscope, they show watery element. So if you want to map from the map to the houses, it is the 4th house which is water. But where is A8? 8th lord is in 6th house. Where is A8? The Mrichupada. Where is it? Pardon me? 4th house. So you looking at your angle, the 4th house, 8th house and 12th house, they show watery element. So 4th house contains A8. So there is some watery influence on the A8. So there can be some danger from water. But the thing is, just because you see 8th lord in the 6th house in a particular chart, don't predict this. This is just one way to look at it. He is just teaching one way after another. So he is just expanding our thinking. But this is not foolproof by itself, unless there is some other influence like moon or some watery planet, or in the third from Aru Lagna some watery planet being there. Unless there is another influence, you can't be sure. Now why Sarpa? Why snake? Right. Snakes are shown by Rahu, but the thing is, this is irrespective of Rahu. This is in general. 8th lord being in the 6th house. So why snake? Why is there a problem with snake? Actually, I am not sure. It just seems too specific. I am not at all sure. I am not sure why he would mention snake specifically. I can't think of any reason. So with that, we will end Parasara for today. I will restart the recording. Okay.
The question is related to the special lagna female which you can have.
Okay.
And I started to look at the Venus B7.
Yeah.
And I applied to the chart.
Okay.
I'm not getting the marriage part, so maybe I'm making a mistake.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
If you go to the first chart.
So you have 7.32, right? Good. Excellent. Okay. 1 second. Oops, this is alt. You can actually comment sit here or sit there.
No, I think
I'll change it to Jagannath Ayanamsa. Okay.
what was the default I had?
Lahiri.
Lahiri, yeah.
Okay.
Analyzing on chart.
Okay. Where is the data?
If you go to mail, file, first chart.
This one?
No. Okay, it's not in there.
Okay, that's okay. We'll open it. Can you show me where it is?
First select link. Go all the way to the P.
P?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First select link. Okay, left. This one has one.
Okay. Okay. So, what are you trying to see?
I was trying to apply this. The V with the data.
Yeah, the data, I'll say the data. 1950 September 26. 1950 September 26, 4:44 AM Eastern Standard Time. That is 5 hours west of GMT. The place is Lawrence, Massachusetts. Lawrence, 4:40. 4:44 AM. 4:44 AM. The place is Lawrence, Massachusetts. 71 degrees 9 minutes 49 seconds west. 42 degrees 42 minutes 25 seconds north. So this is regarding the VE7 special lagna that I mentioned in my email to the list. And for those who are listening who haven't seen the mail, I'll simply outline the theory. It's basically just a speculative experimental research. So the research basically is, see, apart from lagna, which starts at the position of sun at the time of sunrise, and then goes non-linearly across the zodiac in the next 24 hours, Parasara has defined some special lagnas which move at a uniform speed. So the lagnas that he talked about, Bhava Lagna, Hora Lagna and Ghati Lagna, they start out exactly where sun is, at the time sun is rising in the east, and then they go with uniform speed across the zodiac, and then they come back to the position of sun at the time of next sunrise, and during the 24-hour period, they finish either 1 or 2 or 5 rotations across the zodiac. Bhava Lagna goes around the zodiac once, Hora Lagna goes twice. It basically finishes one round around the zodiac and does another one in 24 hours. And Ghati Lagna does 5 cycles around the zodiac in a 24-hour period. And Ghati Lagna, just as it is based on the seed of 5 rotations, and the 5th house is the house of power, and we know that Ghati Lagna shows power and authority. Similarly, Hora Lagna is supposed to show wealth, that because it's based on the seed of 2, and second house is the house of money. So this research is basically extends that. Instead of taking sunrise, it takes the rise of any planet, and then you can take any house. So for example, you can say Venus, and this special lagna is denoted as VE7 in the software. You can get it by clicking on the edit menu and then clicking planetary special lagnas research submenu in the coming submenu, and then there will be a dialog box. You can select the planet and the speed factor, and then you can get it. So we'll do Venus 7. Venus is the karaka for marriage, and 7th house is the house of marriage, relationship. So VE7 was found to be important in 80% of the charts that I have seen. There is a link between VE7 and Lagna in the Dasha or Antardasha that brings marriage. Basically, the 7th house from VE7 is important for marriage. So take the 7th house from VE7, and that has to be linked to Lagna in some way. The Lord of that house being in Lagna, Lagna Lord being in that house, or the Lagna Lord and the Lord of that house aspecting each other or being together. Even half aspect is fine, half aspect or 3/4 aspect, but there has to be some link between the 7th from VE7 and Lagna for marriage to occur, and this can be applied in annual Tithi Pravesh charts using Tithya Stotri Dasha or using the Nakshatra Dasha in Janma Chakra, and in around 80% of the cases I have seen, this was found to be satisfied. Now there is a counter example that we want to see. So the data again is 1950 September 26 4:44 AM, 5 hours west of GMT, Lawrence, Massachusetts, 71 9 49 west, 42 42 25 north. Okay, so when did the person get married?
The VE comes out
okay, VE7, let's make it first. So VE7 is in Virgo. It's in Virgo, and how close is it? It is at 10 degrees. 10 degrees in Virgo, so it is actually about in the middle. You have to realize that Lagna changes sign once in every 2 hours, and VE7 changes sign once in every 1/7 of that, because it moves 7 times faster. So it is 120 divided by 7, that is approximately 17 minutes. Is that right? 120 divided by 7. Yeah, 17 minutes. So it changes sign once in every 17 minutes. So here, had it been on the border, we couldn't be sure. That's why I checked. It is at 10 degrees, which means out of the 17 minutes, 6 minutes are passed. So 6 minutes backwards or 12 minutes forward, it will change. So we have a window of 6 minutes. So assuming that the birth time is accurate within 6 minutes, we are all set. So that's why I checked that. Now let's go to the Dasha. So when did the person get married?
March 24th, 1970. You say regular Vimshottari?
Yeah, Nakshatra Dasha basically. It can be Vimshottari, it can be the married.
Notes for her.
Okay. Oh, you did? I don't see it.
Why didn't you show her?
I don't know. Did you save it?
Yeah, I saved it. Yeah.
Oh, there may be a bug. I'll check it out. I was able to save. Okay, I'll check it out anyway. So, what is the marriage when?
March 24th, 1973.
1973, March 24. 1973, March 24. Okay, 73, March 24. So, she got married on March 24, 1973. So, we are trying to see the, one second, let's go to Vimshottari Dasha, simple Vimshottari Dasha. The Dasha that gave marriage was 73, you said, right?
Right.
So it's not Venus. Why did you say it's Venus?
72.
73.
No, 72 August 1992 is Venus.
Nimshotaya Dasha from moon
Yes.
or Lagna? Are you sure?
So it's starting from moon.
Yeah, started from moon.
Yeah, I'm starting from moon.
Then why are you getting a different Dasha? No, that's also not right. 73, right?
Yes. For me, Venus Dasha starts from 1972 August 5th to 1992 August 5th.
1 second, I think there is some confusion. Okay, when does Venus Dasha start?
1972 August 5th of August.
Can you check the data, repeat the data for me?
September 26, 1915.
Yeah,
4:46 p.m.
4:44 a.m. 4:44 a.m. So it's not p.m. and it's not 4:46. So you are 12 minutes for 12 hours 4 minutes there. Venus Dasha starts in 81. So it is Ket Dasha that gave, not even Ket Dasha, Mercury Dasha that gave marriage.
So the rule says that, right?
Right. So Mercury Dasha, what was the answer Dasha? 1 second, before we up. Mercury Saturn gave the marriage, right?
Right.
Mercury Dasha, Saturn and Dasha gave the marriage. Okay. Now,
The Rasi aspect.
does Mercury have, is Mercury linking Lagna with the seventh house from E7? So what is the 7th house from E7?
So it's Pisces, right?
Pisces, right? Pisces contains Moon and Rahu. None of them is really linked with Lagna.
Right.
So forget them.
And also Lord of the 7th house, that's what we want.
Yes, Lord of the 7th house, Jupiter, he is aspecting Lagna, and Mercury, who is in Lagna, Mercury is the Lord of E7, he is in Lagna and he is aspecting Jupiter. So Mercury and Jupiter are aspecting each other.
Okay, my mistake was that I thought it has to aspect VE7, which is
Doesn't necessarily have to aspect VG7, but it should be bringing, that planet should be involved in a yoga with another planet or sign, which is connecting the 7th from VG7 to Lagna. That is the bottom line. Mercury is one of the connecting planets, right? But look at the Antardasha. Antardasha is even more important. If you look at the Antardasha is that of Saturn. Is Saturn linking the 7th from VE7 with Lagna?
Yes,
Why? Why is he linking it?
no, Saturn is in
Saturn is
Virgo, right? 7th Lord and
Saturn is the disposer. First of all, pardon me,
6th Lord, right? Saturn is in,
Saturn is aspecting the 7th from VE7.
right.
He directly has an aspect on the 7th from VE7. He is in VE7. Moreover, he is the dispositor of the 7th Lord from VE7. Taking the 7th from VE7 as the important house for marriage, he is aspecting that sign. He is the dispositor of the Lord of that sign, right? And he is in VE7. Moreover, now what is the link with Lagna? What link does he have with Lagna? He is with Lagna Lord. Saturn is with Lagna Lord, and he is not very close, but he is not very far as well. He is within 9 degrees. It's not like Sun is at one end and Saturn is at the other end of the sign. They are both actually, they are both in the first 10 degrees. They are in the same Direkana. So Saturn does link the 7th from VE7 with the Lagna. So both Mercury and Saturn actually link it, and moreover, apart from 7th from VE7, they are actually linked with the VE7 itself. Now let us look at the annual chart. So we should look at 1972 annual chart, right? If you look at the 1972 annual Tithi Pravesha chart, 1 second. Good. So who is the Hora Lord? Mercury is the Hora Lord. Now there has to be a link between the 7th from VE7 and Lagna for marriage to occur in the year, and here it is very straightforward. VE7 is actually in Aquarius and Lagna is in Leo. So 7th from, actually how, again 7 degrees, VE7 is at Aquarius, is in Aquarius at 7 degrees. So I think we are probably safe. It is basically, you need an error of 4-5 minutes for it to change, so probably it is fine. Now the 7th from VE7 is linked in a very trivial way to the Lagna, right? So it's not really challenging. The 7th from VE7 is Lagna. So basically marriage can occur during the year. And if you look at the Dasha that gave the marriage, what was the Dasha that gave marriage? Oops. When did the marriage happen? 73 March 24. So it happened in Saturn Dasha. And why it is Saturn Dasha, I don't really have a I don't have a strong logic, except that Yeah, he is the Lord of E7, but if you take the 7th from E7, because that is more important, if you take the 7th from E7, which is Leo, Saturn has 3/4 aspect on it, and he also has half aspect on the Lord of that sign. So, but the thing is, if you look at Jupiter, yeah, exactly, but the thing is, who are the other candidates? Sun could have given it, Saturn could have given it, Jupiter could have given it. Jupiter is aspecting Leo, he could have given it. So one of them is a possibility, but if you, this is only one technique. If you look at the basic chart, Saturn is 7th Lord, and if you look at the Navamsha, again Saturn is 7th Lord, so he can win over other planets. But it does have a 3/4 aspect on Lagna, on the 7th from E7. Any other things you guys want to share? Any other points?
So only we should check that in the Navamsha,
Not in the Navamsha. The thing is, these special Lagnas in Navamsha, Dashamsha, etc. also may have a role, but the thing is, it's just foolish to look at them simply from the point of view of precision. See, like I said, this particular thing changes, this VE7 changes sign in Rasi every 17 minutes. So if you take Dashamsha for example, Navamsha for example, it changes once every 2 minutes. Is it 2? Yeah, 17 divided by 9. So not even 2 minutes. 1 point some. Yeah, less than 2 minutes. So what's the point? Similarly, if you take ME10, because I talked about ME10 for career, it changes. ME10 changes sign once every 12 minutes in Rasi. That itself is actually very tricky. You have to know the time within 12 minutes. It's not even like within 12 minutes. Sometimes it may be on the border. So if the time is 1 minute before, ME10 may change sign. But the bottom line is it remains in the same sign for 12 minutes. So if you take Dashamsha ME10, it is 1.2 minutes. How can you know that time is accurate within 1.2 minutes? No way. So it's ruled out. So using this, producing any credible research involving special lagnas like Ghati Lagna, Hora Lagna may be fine, but Ghati Lagna, VE7, ME10, KE12, etc. in RKE8, etc. in charts other than Rasi chart is very tricky. It is a matter of precision. Definitely there must be some role, but the thing is, we don't want to go there. So just stick to Rasi. Okay, any other charts or questions that you guys want me to look at? So I mentioned in the mails also, I just want to say it for the sake of recording, this is just research. So it can be false, even though like I said 80% of the charts I have seen do satisfy it, but it's not really infallible, so don't be under that impression. Similarly, when you are looking at Nakshatra Dasha, it's not always Vimshottari. You have to see if there is any other conditional Dasha that applies ahead of Vimshottari. Use that Dasha instead of Vimshottari, then the principle will work, otherwise it may not work. I have seen examples like that. But in the case of Tithi Pravesh charts, Tithi Ashtotri seems to work. Shivashtotram. I think they are doing Mahashivratri Sobuja in the temple next to the class. Any other questions?
Myself and Vijay are
Yeah.
for this chart for career related.
Okay.
She wanted to.
Yeah.
Know, she's a person. She wanted to know what's her career, or she has a business. How is it going to go in this?
Okay.
Now
So if you look at the Dashamsha chart, what is the Dasha running right now? She started Moon Dasha a couple of years back. Right? And how is Moon? He is the Lord of A7, right? A7 is in 3rd house. So he is the Lord of 3rd house of initiative. He is the Lord of A7 of business and partnership, a tangible partnership. So, and he is in the 11th house of gains with the 11th Lord Jupiter. So he is linking the 3rd, 7th and 11th. He is in the 11th house, he is the 3rd Lord, he is the Lord of A7. So it is, another thing is actually the A7 is in 3rd house while A3 is in 7th house. So there is a Arudha Parivartana, Arudha exchange between 3rd and 7th. So again, that is very conducive to business. So this is an auspicious chart in general for business, not just this Dasha, but in general this is auspicious. Particularly this Moon Dasha which is running is very good for business.
But within the Antardasa.
Right.
Some of them are not
Absolutely. Let's look at the current Antardasa. See, the Antardasa that is running right now, that ran last year, was Mars. He is the 7th Lord in the 5th house. He is not bad at all. He is actually quite good. But
Rahu is the one.
Rahu Dasya is running right now. Is it good or bad?
It's not good. That's
Why?
weak.
Why did you think it's not good? Tell me your logic. Come. Yeah. What is bad with Rahu? First take from Lagna and then take from Moon. From the Lagna, he is the 10th Lord in 8th.
8th house. Right?
10th Lord in the 8th house, right? Is it good or bad? 10th Lord in 8th house, is it good for career or bad for career?
It's
Right.
not very good.
It's bad, it's actually bad. Not very good, but bad. You don't have to say not good, very good, it's bad. So Rahu's placement in the 8th from Lagna is not good, but Arudha Lagna Lord in the 11th from Arudha Lagna is not bad.
It's not bad.
But from Lagna he is quite bad. Now, look from the Dasha Lord Moon. This is Moon Dasha that is running. How is the Antardasha? From Moon, Rahu is in the 10th house, but he is the 12th Lord. 12th Lord in 10th, is it good for career? Not really. It shows some loss or compromise in career. So the bottom line is, both from the Lagna and from the Dasha Lagna, this planet is linking the 10th house to a Dusthana, either to the 8th house or to the 12th house. So he is bringing some tension and some losses in the career. So he is not good. Moreover, from the point of view of business, he is basically in the 2nd house from business, 2nd house of loss from business, 2nd Margasthana from business. So he is not actually, this is a very dangerous Antardasha. But once this Dasha, she survives this Dasha,
Right. Then
this Antardasha.
next 3 Antardasas are very good.
Yes, Jupiter is brilliant. Saturn, he is the 11th and 12th Lord in the 3rd house. So 11th Lord in the 3rd from Moon. So it is good for business.
Only till
Jupiter.
So Ketu is a 6th
Mercury is
house.
also very good. He is the 7th Lord in 2nd house from
Ketu
Lagna.
is a problem.
Ketu is again, is it problem? It's okay. It's not great. It's not as bad as the previous one, Rahu. So it's basically for one more year. One more year is a period of some tension and some compromises and losses in career.
Yeah, when we see the TP,
This is a time to take things easy.
chart,
Yeah.
till October of this year.
Mhm.
So we have issues after October seems to be.
So if you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart, so he's saying, they looked at the last year Tithi Pravesh chart, 2008-2009, the current Tithi Pravesh chart. What is bad about it? Why did you say it's bad?
Till October, there is the moon.
Yeah,
Have the TP.
yeah. This is TP chart,
The moon is Rahu is with moon,
right?
which is
In Bhargasthana. So
in the tensions in the mind related to.
right. But why are you looking at Rahu specifically? Why are you looking at Rahu?
If you go to the dasas, right?
Yeah. No, forget. Oh, I see. You are looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just the Dasha. No, forget the Dasha. Let's not say within this year this month is good, this month is bad, this month is good. Overall, we are saying that this year is bad, right? So let us see if there is some weakness in the Tithi, in the chart itself, Tithi Pravesh. Now, who is the ruler of the year? The ruler of the year is Jupiter, right? And Jupiter, if you look at the Rashi chart, Jupiter is the 8th Lord in the 8th house. He shows some tension, but 8th Lord is in the 8th house itself. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it shows tension and struggle. So this is basically a year of struggle. And what is the Vara? What is the weekday? It is Tuesday. Tuesday, right? And how is, what houses does Mars own in the Rashi chart? He is not bad. He is basically 4th and 9th Lord in the natal Rashi chart, right? And where is Lagna? It is in Taurus. It is the 10th house from natal Rashi chart. Again, not that bad. So overall, it's not that bad. But Jupiter, the Hora Lord is in the 8th house. So that is a bad feature. In addition, are there any other bad things? Moon, the planet of mental mind, he is in Gandanta, right? Moon is in Gandanta. And if you look at the Dashamsha, Moon is the 12th Lord of loss, and he is in Bhargasthana, and he is with Rahu. Now, Moon Rahu combination. Why is Rahu important? Because we are talking about business. We are talking about the business of the person, and Rahu is the 7th Lord of business. And by the way, in the Rashi chart, natal Rashi chart also, in the natal Rashi chart, Vimshotri Dasha, natal Vimshotri Dasha, it is Rahu Antardasha which is running. And that Rahu is the lord of the house of business here. Of course, Saturn is also the lord, but he is in the 8th house. He is not really that good. One lord of the 7th house is in the 8th house. The other lord is in Badhakasthana with the 12th lord of losses. And there is a tussle between Moon and Rahu. So overall, looking at both the factors, it's not that good. But the strong thing is Mercury is good. There is a Shubhakartara Yoga of Mercury and Venus on Dashamsa Lagna. Ketu is good, Jupiter is good, Sun and Mars are in the 7th house of business. Lagna Lord and the 9th Lord, they have a Raj Yoga.
Yeah, it's in the TP that's showing that the 7th house is planets, but the D10 doesn't have any planets in 7th
Which
house.
D10? In the natural Rashi chart?
No, regular D10.
This is regular D10.
No, this is the TP.
Oh, you are saying natal D10. Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't have planets.
It doesn't have any planets.
How does she? I know she's a business lady.
Right. No, this is very clear. Even though see, it's not just being empty or having 10 planets. That is not the only thing. The 7th house, the 7th lord is in a trine. The 7th lord, Mars is in a trine. And 7th house has A3. And A7 is in the 3rd house. So like I said earlier, 3 and 7 have a parivartana. And the lord of the A7 and 3rd house is in the 11th house with 11th lord. So Kamatrikonas are quite strong. And there is a yoga, Gajageshwari Yoga, Chandramangal Yoga, Gurumangal Yoga. Moon, Jupiter and Mars, they are on the axis of 11th house and 5th house. So there is a nice Raj Yoga, nice yoga between 3rd Lord, 7th Lord, 11th Lord. So that the strong axis on the 11th house. 11th house containing the 3rd and 11th Lords being aspected by the 7th Lord. So all the Kamatrikonas are converging towards 11th house of gains.
So that shows as a business.
This does show a business person. Especially Moon Dasha and Mars Dasha are very conducive.
Does she travel? She has a very unusual business. She's a yoga studio.
Okay.
So, I mean, not traditional business.
I understand. But it doesn't make, it's not really nonsense. Astrologically looking at it, the sign is Pisces, the 11th house where all these planets are converging is Pisces. It has Moon and Jupiter. So it's basically some traditional teaching kind of thing, and also it's basically teaching with which has some spiritual
she's a very
elements to it.
Person.
So from
she's an American woman, but she knows a lot of our scripture knowledge.
Good. So the thing is, it's unusual, but it's not unusual from the astrological point of view, looking at the chart. So anyway, going back to the annual chart. So it's not all bad. Sun-Mars combination is quite good, right? So I will be wary about Saturn, Rahu and Moon periods. These are really bad. Even Venus, if you look at Venus, right? He is the 10th Lord in the 12th house. 10th Lord in the 12th house is not really good for career. So Venus is bad. Moon, Rahu, Saturn are bad. So Moon, Venus, Saturn, Rahu. These are the bad Antardashas. But Sun and Mars Antardashas have potential. Right? Similarly, especially if you look at Sun, he is the 4th Lord in the 5th house with the 5th Lord in the Rashi chart. Right? So there is a good Raj Yoga between Sun and Mercury. In the Dashamsa chart also, Sun has a Raj Yoga with Mars too. So in both the charts, Mars is not a bad planet in either chart because he is in the 6th house in Rashi chart. So Sun, Mars and Mercury also, he has Raj Yoga in Rashi chart. In the Dashamsa, he is the 2nd Lord in 2nd. Which is not at all bad, and A5 and A10 are there. So I will say the Mars Dasha and the Mercury Dasha which is running right now are not at all bad, the current Dasha. But the Saturn Dasha which is going to come in next month, that can be a little bad. Jupiter is not that good. He is the 8th Lord. Yeah.
Venus ends in September, right?
Yeah. Till the end of September things are bad, but after that things seem much better. And if you look at the next year's annual chart,
it's very good.
Is it?
In general, we didn't go through detail.
Okay. So Sun is the Hora Lord in the Rashi chart. Sun is the Lagna Lord in the. Sun is the 12th Lord in Lagna. There is Sun and Saturn in Lagna, which is not that good, but there is distance between them. Luckily, if you look at the Dashamsa, Lagna Lord is in the 5th house, Jupiter. Mercury and Moon are together. Interesting. And in the Rashi chart, there is a good Raj Yoga between Venus and Mercury, except that it is in the 12th house. So maybe some some fortune, some good developments with relocation or something like that. It's not bad, but I don't share the view that you have that it's great. It doesn't seem great to me, but it's okay.
It's comparatively this.
Compared to this year,
year,
yes.
that's
Compared to this year, this seems better. Especially the Sun Jupiter combination is really good. The 9th Lord Sun in the 11th house, Lagna Lord Jupiter in the 5th house, aspecting each other in the Dashamsa. So that Rajoga is very auspicious. And Sun happens to be the ruler of the year. So ruler of the year is involved in a nice Rajoga. And he is the 9th Lord. Unlike this year, when the ruler of the year is, even though he is also 5th Lord, he is 8th Lord too. And the disposer of the 7th Lord. So next year seems better. But more than this, if you just simply look at the Vimshottari Dasha, the Jupiter Antardasha is coming. So Moon Dasha, Jupiter Antardasha is definitely a good Antardasha for her. This is the Dasha, Antardasha that will give the result of the Gajageshwara Yoga. So next year, after February, a period of 1.5 years seems quite good for her. And right now he is okay. It's not really that good.
Yeah, she has. So we come.
What can she do? What remedy can she do?
That's what we did.
What do you guys think?
Prescribe her Durga mantra.
Why?
Dhum Durga.
Why?
Rahu.
So Rahu Antardasha is the problem. Rahu Antardasha is the problem. So Durga, okay? Om Dhum Durgaya Namah. Okay? Good. That is a very good remedy. That is a very good suggestion. Very good.
So that we left it.
That is very good. That is very good. Excellent. Good.
Or even Jupiter in the house of Shiva,
For me? Yeah. What about him? Jupiter is in 8th where? In the Tripravesh chart? You don't. I know, but you don't suggest the remedies based on Tripravesh chart. Just look at the Rasi. Jupiter is with Moon in the 11th house. Jupiter is not at all a problematic planet. So I wouldn't be concerned about Jupiter. So right now the concern is Rahu. See, the thing is, not only is Rahu bad in career, but even if you look at the Rasi chart itself, Rahu is in the 8th house with Moon. The natal Rasi chart, if you see, Moon is in Pisces at 12 degrees, Rahu is at 5 degrees. So he is like 7 degrees away, not too far. He is far but not too far. He is within 7 degrees from Moon. So 7th Lord in the 8th house is actually a Marka. And he can give trouble in marriage, being the 7th Lord in the 8th house. Yeah. But this Antardasha is a very, particularly this Antardasha is a bad Antardasha for mental peace. There is no mental peace, there is anxiety, tension, etc. So definitely during this Antardasha, praying to Durga is a very good idea.
And also we confirmed that the marriage, short marriage.
Why did you say it was a short marriage?
Seventh Lord is made for it.
Right.
Not a good combination.
That's not a good combination. And the other 7th Lord is also not that good. He is actually in the 8th from the 7th house. 7th Lord, one 7th Lord is Rahu, other 7th Lord is Saturn. Both are on the 8th house axis basically. The second 8th axis.
Actually, the spouse died.
I see.
When she was
When the marriage was young. I see. That's unfortunate. Anything else you guys want to say? See? Do you know when the spouse died?
she didn't came here.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Died
Further, look at Navamsa and look at L7. The Arudha of the 7th Lord. Okay, anyway. Anything else?
The Rasi chart doesn't show the death, but it's a short marriage.
Yeah, it does show. Yeah, exactly. You can't say whether it's a death or divorce, but
I know
it's not good for marriage, right?
A troubled marriage, not a smooth marriage.
Anything else you guys want to add on this chart, or any other questions, any other comments, any other? Okay.
That's the only thing aspect we need to look at it, so
Okay, very good, very good.
It's a long time, almost a year.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think maybe I made a mistake on it.
Yeah. So you guys don't have anything to say? Actually, I will be curious to look at the Tajaka. Radhika chart. Did she get married? Right. I'm just looking at the Radhika chart and Pacheni Dasha. Yeah, it is there, but it's not really that strong. So the thing is, I'm just looking at the Radhika chart for the same person for 72, 73, and if you look at the Pacheni Dasha, which is the Dasha that shows that works with Radhika charts, the marriage happened in Mercury Dasha, March 24, right? Yeah, March 24. So it happened in Mercury Dasha, and if you look at Mercury, he doesn't have a strong link. The bottom line is, the 7th from VE7 happens to have Lagna, just like in the Radhika, in the Tithi Pravesh chart. If you remember the Tithi Pravesh chart of the year when she got married, the 7th from VE7 had Lagna, and similarly here also the 7th from VE7 does have Lagna. So any planet who is in that sign or aspecting that sign, they can give the marriage, and Mercury is a candidate because he has half aspect on Lagna, but it's only half aspect. He's not a strong candidate. He's just one of the candidates, and he is at 14 degrees and Lagna is at 10 degrees. So the aspect is basically a reasonably close aspect. So he has a close half aspect. So he is a candidate, but it's not really a strong link. But if you look at use Muddha Dasha, the compressed Vimshottari Dasha, which is also used in the Radhika annual charts, the marriage happened in Saturn Dasha, Saturn Venus actually. See, 1973 March 23 to 1973 April 1 is Saturn Venus Antardasha, and Saturn is in Lagna itself, in the 7th from E7. Lagna Lord is Venus. So this is showing better. In general, I find Pacheni Dasha to be more useful, but here, if I take the Vimshottari, the Muddha Dasha, that is actually showing the result much clearer. Both the planets, Antardasha Lord and Dasha Lord, are associated with the 7th from VE7 as well as Lagna directly. So they are strong candidates. So bottom line is, what I am trying to say is, this principle that I found, this research, I actually verified it on Rashi natal chart, Tithi Pravesh chart as well as Radhika chart. In the examples that I gave, I mentioned only Tithi Pravesh, but it actually works with Radhika also. So anyway. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise we will wrap up early today. Just go on, pray to Shiva. Today still Chaturdasi is there. So it is a good day to pray to Shiva. Yes, go ahead.
I was looking at one wife chart. The father is concerned because it's not. He is very, in a sense, not consistent with the results. So he asked me to take a look at it.
We'll see in the next class, because that will be a full thing. Why don't you do one thing? Share the chart with the others. You guys actually try to look at it on the chart, and then you guys draw some conclusions, and then in the next class we will basically take up that chart and we'll start with your conclusions. You guys will first tell me what you think, and then we can go from there.
To be honest, the father, same thing he said in 10th grade. I said he will do good in 10th.
Yeah.
On the chart.
Yeah.
Actually, he surprisingly got 529 out of 600. Marks. Actually, got very good.
Okay.
But again, then the last 2 years he has been telling me he's not doing well, he's not doing well.
Maybe you just need to take. Maybe you need to take a look again and give a good prediction. Maybe then it will happen.
I still feel that he will do good.
Okay. We'll take a look at it. So you guys look at the. You guys look at it.
No, he will not do well.
Yeah. The bottom line is, if he has got 529 out of 600 in 10th grade, he's basically not a dumb guy. He's basically a smart guy. Just a matter of getting the right motivation. Anyway, we'll see the chart in the next class. So you guys try to look at it beforehand. So with that, I will end the class today. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.